Lilac Kitty has all types of Reddit stories that will make you think, cry and laugh. Only real stories.
Wife cheated after 13 years together. Hi everyone. TLDR, partner of 13 years, 3 years married, has had an affair for the last year and is still talking to the man she cheated with, despite me telling her that if we are to continue I need that relationship to end. A little background, my wife, 28F, and I, 28M, have been together for 13 years. We started dating when we were roughly 16, never broke up, and got married 3 years ago. We had the kind of relationship that others were jealous of, and everyone always expected us to get married when we were younger. Over the past year and a half to 2 years things started changing between us. Some issues came up with her family and she started to become more and more distant, both emotionally and physically, starting being super protective of her phone, and grew closer and closer with a male coworker. Long story short, I snooped, yes, I know this is bad, on her phone because I had a feeling something was going on based off a variety of factors and found incriminating texts confirming that she was having an affair with this guy. When I confronted her early September, she owned up to it, saying that it had been going on for a year. They had been having the affair in our home, sleeping together in the bedroom that would eventually be the room where our future children slept. She apologized, saying it would never happen again, and I told her that in order for us to move on I need her to have no contact with the person she cheated on me with. 2 months later and they are still talking occasionally, with her saying it is unfair of me to ask her to not talk to someone she considers a close friend. I honestly don't know what to do at this point. I am trying to see if I can move on, but I feel like I can never trust her again. I feel like her choosing to be in touch with him still shows that she is choosing their relationship over ours. I am just totally torn on what my gut is telling me. She also told me not to tell any of our friends what is going on, so I don't even have someone to talk to. Sorry, this was a bit of a rant, but it's the first time I have written it all out, and I really do not know how to proceed or how to cope with this. Edit was not expecting this large of a reaction. Outside a few of you that seem to think nasty replies are appropriate and someone has their entire life crumble around them, this was helpful. I know what I need to do, I just need to rip off the band-aid and do it. I am going to call the lawyer I spoke to a few weeks ago tomorrow and see how he says I should approach the situation. Final update, wife cheated after 13 years together. Hey everyone. I, 29M, know it has been a while since I last posted here, but I wanted to provide one final update on my story since you were all so helpful during this process. So, after telling my ex, 29F, that we were getting a divorce, the gaslighting went into overdrive. Blaming me, telling me that it is my fault that I am doing this to us, that I am giving up on our marriage, that it is really sad that I am letting our relationship end this way, and that I am going to take away the home that our dog knows, etc., etc. I stood strong, didn't let her get to me, and went through with divorce mediation. Mediation was smooth, she agreed to everything that I wanted, and I received notice from the courts yesterday that I am a free man. We sold the house within 3 months of starting mediation, she moved out 1 month prior to closing on the house. The gaslighting continued while living together waiting for the house to sell, with her continuing to blame me and telling me that I am mean because I refuse to speak to her at all, and countless other things that only a truly sick individual would think to be true given the situation. Once the house sold, I moved back to my parents for a few months to collect myself and just figure out what to do with my life. I started weekly therapy and was able to reflect on the relationship, seeing how toxic and one-sided everything was. How I was the one always putting myself second and sacrificing my happiness to try to tolerate her and her unrealistic needs and expectations. My therapist suggests that it sounds like she has borderline personality disorder, which is a condition that runs in her family, and it makes total sense. I was also able to, and continue to, work on underlying issues that allowed me to get into such a toxic relationship, and at this point I feel like I will be able to identify the warning signs. I recommitted to my physical health as well, losing 15 pounds over the last 3 months and getting back into running, currently training for a 10K. Early this month I moved into my own place in New York City. I am reconnecting with friends who I lost touch with, and I have started dating for the first time in my life, albeit pretty unsuccessfully at this point. Plus, I got a promotion at work a few weeks ago that I worked my tail off for. I am mentally, physically, emotionally, and financially in a better place than I have been in years, and her showing me her true colors by having this affair was the greatest favor she could have done for me. I still have not told all of our mutual friends about the affair, as I was afraid she would get angry and tank mediation, but now that the divorce is final I will be notifying everyone in our lives as to who she is and what she did. I guess all this was all just a long-winded way of saying that things will get better. There is nothing wrong with any of us because we were cheated on, and to try to use this as a launching point for you making yourself better and working to make yourself the best possible person. This is going to be my last significant post here most likely, as while I don't think my journey of healing has come to an end, it's just come to a new chapter, and dwelling on what this woman did to me is not worth it. Thank you again for all the support, both in terms of kind words as well as the harsh truths that I had to read. She cheated and I thought we were a success story. I posted here about what would have been our 23rd wedding anniversary last Sunday, but I've never shared my story. Someone who left a nice comment there encouraged me to share. So here goes. My wife and I met in college, got married after grad school, and had 2 beautiful children together. There were some issues, but life together was generally very good. 3 years ago, we were sitting at the kitchen table during tax season. We were discussing finances, not just the monthly budget but the big stuff. I found it a bit odd that she was texting during such an important conversation. It wasn't texting the kids, they were both home. To this day, I have no idea what compelled me to snatch her phone from her hand mid-text. I had never suspected a thing, at least consciously. A look of horror immediately came over her, so I darted into the other room with the phone and locked the door. The text string was about planning a weekend in Vegas with her AP. I was blown away. She was banging on the door, yelling and sobbing. I texted the guy, pretending to be her. I wrote something like, "I can't wait to be between the sheets with you again." His response affirmed that they were sleeping together. While locked in the room, I called my brother. He came over and convinced my wife to stay with him for a few days. Drama naturally ensued, but after a couple of months of me living on the boat, we decided to try to reconcile. We had weekly therapy sessions together and alone. We each went to 2 sessions a week for about a year. Some ground rules were set. One rule was that she was never to contact AP again. It wasn't a sacrifice as she had no professional or social connections with him other than the affair. It was a real grind. I had strong emotions of anger, fear, pain, hopefulness, and despair. Gradually, things started to arrive at a new normal. I started enjoying life with her again. I thought that we were a success story. I used to run a search for AP's phone number in our phone provider's call log often, with her knowledge. I did the search less and less as time went on. About a year ago, again without suspicion, I ran the search and there it was. 2 minutes long calls between them and then 2 calls that were over 30 minutes each. I called AP's number and the voicemail announced his name. I felt that it would be ill-advised for me to leave a recording of my thoughts for him, so I hung up. I was crushed. All of the regained trust evaporated instantly. I laid the groundwork by quietly moving some money around, changing passwords, retaining a lawyer, and securing a place to live. After that, I confronted her. I told her that she had broken the ground rule and that I would be leaving and filing for divorce. I went on to say that there was nothing that she could say or do that would change my mind, and that discussion on the matter was pointless. Of course, drama ensued. I've been gone for about a year now. We co-parent well and the divorce process has gone smoothly. Our children are well and mostly happy. I guess those are successes.